Today I'm going back to reference a college player that I was helping the other day when we're looking at sort of hand path and hand depth in the backswing. Important subject, again, maybe not for everyone, but for this player it was exactly what he needed, okay? So when we're looking at hand depth in the backswing, okay, there's a couple different ways to look at it. So when I look at the takeaway, right, so here my hands are right in front of my chest, right? So on 3D we'd measure this as like hand thrust, okay? So if my hands are going behind my pivot, okay, so they're moving, that would be a minus thrust number. So they're behind the center of my chest, they're over here. If they're on this side of my pivot, that would be a positive. So if I've turned this much and my hand's over there, that would be a positive, okay? So we're trying to, again, depending on the player, it sort of matters on where that hand depth is going to be. And you're going to see a lot of guys on tour with a range. You'll see some guys way out here, and you're going to see some guys a little bit more across the chest. And that's going to be dictated by how much in transition the club is going to sort of move against them, or their arm's going to work against their chest in that transition move. So if someone's across a lot, that arm's probably not working much across their chest. If it's way out here, you're going to see it probably work a little bit more across the chest, okay? So that's why it's important. For this player, what was happening, their club was starting to get a little bit too far out in front of them, okay? So their hand depth in their backswing was actually too much in front of their body, okay? So what we were referencing is we were looking at when they were playing good, the butt of the club was more on their heels, okay, at the top of their swing. So what that looks like is if I turn, the butt of the club is now sort of in line with the center of my foot towards my heel. What was happening when they were getting here, they had a little tilt motion, okay? And when they tilted, the butt of the club started to work more up, more in front of their toes. So then when they transitioned, the club was going to be a little bit more in front of them, okay? So if I was up here, that's an in front position. When they were playing their best, the club was a little bit more on their heels, right? But with pivot, as they did it. I can also get hand depth by just pulling my hands behind my body. That's not the way I want it. I want it through pivot if I can do it. So the pivot's going to help me dictate. So if I turn more, you can see my hands work more around me. If I tilt more, the hands work more in front of me. I can also lift my arms to keep them more in front of me, right? So again, finding what's right for you is important. For this player, it was just really focusing on, as they were getting to the top, could they get the chest to help them get that grip slightly more in line with their sort of middle back part of their heel, okay? So a good reference point for that is if I set up and I'm gonna hit this, and I just put this alignment stick here, right on my heel, okay? So when I'm doing my backswing, can I use pivot and get a reference? This is what we're doing, so you can reference the hip a little bit, but I'm also referencing that butt of that club. Is it close to where that stick would be pointed when I get to the top? And again, I'm doing it through pivot. I'm not just pulling it across my body. Okay, so I get that stuck in there. And then when I go to the top, using my pivot, feeling like my hand in the butt of the club get close to where that stick would be, then I know I'm rotated and the hands are around my body. So when I come down, that club is going to start to be a little more from the inside. If I'm here and I come down, you can see that's going to be a little more from the outside. So if I go here, pull it across, feel that hand depth, and then just copy that. So that was a little bit more around with turn, okay? Versus for this player it was up, and then as they come in, they would sort of be a little ahead of it and be bunched up. When they got here, club was a lot lower, and they were able to use their pivot to hit the shot. So for them, it was perfect. Find what's right for you, help you get better at this great game. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Have a great day.